to bring spirituality into whatever you do in your living to make your life very happy. So everything you do has that happiness factor in it. So we're going to give him maximum time. So please do give him full attention and respect. And we're really blessed to have him, and we want to thank you so much. Thank you.
I would like to start with a small devotional prayer. Sorry. I will read it together. Those who can see that, you can read with me. But I'd like to start with that. Okay.
Put it out. Yeah.
Lord, take my life and let it flow in fullness of devotion to Thee. O Lord, take my hands and let them work incessantly for Thee. O Lord, take my soul and let it be merged in one with Thee. O Lord, take my mind and thoughts and let them be in tune with Thee. O Lord, take my everything and let me be an instrument and work for Thee. Good morning, everybody, and thank you very much for having me here and for this wonderful opportunity to interact with you all. At the very outset, let me start with a disclaimer. I don't stand here as an authority on parenting. I'm not here to teach you something which you probably may not know. I am fortunate to have been brought up in an environment and traveled kind of around in countries and gained some knowledge and experiences which I'm going to share with you. So I'm here to just share with you a little bit what I do as my passion. And I hope with this experience which we share with each other, you will gain out of it something, and I'll pick up some more threads and carry it forward. Parenting is a very interesting topic, and it just fell in my lap, if I may say so. Let me tell you my story a little bit. Whatever introduction they said, thank you very much for making it look as if something different. But my prime job in life is to make everybody happy, because I have a very infectious happiness. So wherever I go, I like to see smiling faces. So if any one of you want to avoid my questions, keep smiling. So if you don't smile, I'm going to come forward to you and ask you questions. So I like to see long, beautiful smiling faces. That's wonderful. So first question to her. Great. So everybody is ready now, right? Okay, what is parenting? We have to discuss today on value parenting. My story a little bit. And I will tell you to these young children which I asked them to come here. Elders can connect a little better, but I will tell you my story. I was born and brought up in a very small town in India. It was like a township. The beauty or the pain of that living in that small area is that everybody knows everybody. It's not like a metropolis of Miami, in which your neighbors may not know you in many places. But in that place, everybody knew everybody. And I was a little naughty. The problem with that is, whatever you do, the whole township knows about it. You can manage your parents, but you can't manage your neighbor. Because our neighbors had a right somehow to come and slap you, catch your ears, and say, why did you make a mistake? Can you believe that? The children can't even imagine, huh? Our neighbors had authority to slap. They felt full right over us. So we have not only to avoid our parents, we have to be juggling with our neighbors too. How many of the elders can sympathize with me?
I can say I've been there.
You have been there?
Neighbors were uncles and aunts and all kind of relations. I mean, they are
Excellent.
not really.
So how many of you have suffered like me? Children, ask your parents the stories of their life childhood. You'll be surprised that we live in a different era. I'm not that old. Huh? I just choose to color my hair grey, so I just happened to be in that era, so I enjoyed it. But it was beautiful because not only neighbors, our teachers too had the right. Can you imagine that? You make a mistake in the school and the teacher had one shot. You go and tell your dad, I got. They give you one more. You must have done something seriously wrong to get that. So can you imagine the fate? You guys are too lucky here, man. They can't even touch you. They touched us very beautifully. So we lived in that beautiful era. And today when I realize, I look back, I somehow feel that was beautiful. And I tell my workshop people, when I go and do workshops, I tell the youths, I said, go and tell your dad to give me a slap. So what for? I said, just for future, man. You'll be happier tomorrow because you are getting deprived of that beautiful spikes. Today all these laws are coming out and disturbing you. You know the joy of getting beaten up. These people have no spirit. Please give them one shot. And don't quote me, eh? Delete that part. So it happened to me that I did my master's in costing and accounting. And then I was thrown up in the world to do sales. And I don't know why I did accounting, I don't know myself because I never liked books. I could never sit behind the books for long. And then I went into doing sales. And from there I started teaching people. I don't know. It's easy. It sounded very easy. You know what you can't do, just teach. Hopefully one day he will come to you. I don't know. I just happened to teach. And then it so became that I enjoyed what I was doing and I started learning a lot. At the bottom of it, I found that whichever profession you may be, whatever task or whatever hats you may wear, from morning till night, there is something beautifully similar and common in all of us. Whether I came from India, Africa, America, Caribbean, there is something beautifully unique and similar. Can anybody guess what is that?
Being human.
Excellent. I am standing in temple, so I hope these answers to come out. Everybody is fresh and awake. True, we were all human beings. We are all human beings. And the difference was just very, very skin deep, I would say. And that similarity which we found was so beautifully unique that you start realizing that all the aspirations of all of us are similar. We may act differently, but internally we all aspire for same things. Today all of us wear multiple hats. First you could be a daughter, son, then a wife, mother, father. So many hats we wear, but ultimately they are all hats. When you come to temple, you may have one role which becomes priority for that moment. Correct? But you won't throw away other hats. Unfortunately, all of our management techniques teach us that you wear a hat and you have to be dedicated as if you forget what you are. Let me take an example. Doctor is here. He's at home enjoying a quiet time. He gets a call from a patient. Would you say that it's my time off, don't disturb me? Certainly not. He'll jump and he has to do what he has to do. Suppose you are at work, what do? You're an engineer, don't get up. That's nice. and you are at work, and suddenly your wife calls. Obviously, when she calls, everything stops, right? So your wife calls. Can you say that, honey, I am doing engineering. Don't disturb.
If I say that to my supervisor, he says, hey, that is your priority.
He's a good husband too, huh? They all have learned lessons well. So the problem is, the point is, that whether we are at work or we are home, we are in temple, we never throw away our other hats. It just happens that you give priority to that role in that moment. So basically, we don't park our personalities in the parking lot and come to temple and say, let me behave now because I'm in the temple. Or let me be professional when I go to work. Or let me become a different person when I'm at home. So basically, we all are, from core we are same, and what we are, wherever we are. So whatever you do in your life, your core attributes remain the same. If you are dedicated everywhere. You can pretend to dedicate yourself in certain areas, it won't work for long. So if you really start thinking and analyzing it, we realize that in life, the whole game is only our own satisfaction and discovery. So when I take up any of these topics, whether I'm doing sales training, communications, whatever, the undercurrent is to know who we are. And the more we realize from the core point of view who we are, everything else becomes easy and beautiful. Today, parenting could be the prime importance for you. Most of you send your children here and bring them here, even they hate it. Ask these children, why are you here? My mom brought me. The standard answer for them. They may not say, they're very decent and polite. My mom brought me up. But they come. But hopefully one day they will realize why they're here. And if I ask you why you bring them here, if you really think about it, you are afraid. It's a fear which brings you here, not the love of the culture or the values. The day love for values will make you come to these places, your attitude and life will change. You're scared. Hey, send them here. Is there a good place? Dump them here. I will go out to some Walmart, some shopping here. 1 hour. They are doing babysitting nicely here. Isn't it unique how we think, how we work? So the beauty of this is, I call it, even the parenting I call as self-discovery exercise. So I'm going to do a little exercise with you all before I go into value parenting. Are you awake?
Yeah.
Are you awake?
Yes.
Okay. Who's not smiling? Why are you so serious? Thank you very much. So first question to you now. I told you if you don't smile, I have to come to you. Are you ready? Okay. Tomorrow morning I'm going to give an ad in the newspaper. If you hire a peon, you want an ad, right? In Trinidad where I live, even to sell chicken in KFC, they need you having English and mathematics. I said, you need an Einstein to sell chicken? And then also they need a computer to calculate 10 minus 9. It's $1. So I'll give you an ad tomorrow morning. Parents required. There's an ad. Now I need to know, what should I put in the ad as a qualification for parents? For a peon you need, what do you need? You need a degree, you need something, but here we talk about it. So now I don't have a thing, what can we do? Okay, let's do one thing. You have papers now, you can just distribute it, and somebody can volunteer to write. So they can, yeah, she is writing. Please introduce yourself to me. So Sister Sharon is going to help me here. So you will take down whatever everybody says, okay? So let's give me some attributes of a parent which I'm going to put in a hat. Tomorrow morning, parents required. You all can say that. What do you want in your parents?
Patience.
Patience. God bless her. Right, patience.
Love.
One minute, hold on. One by children. Commitment. So patience, commitment, love, dedication. What else?
Sacrifice.
Discipline.
Care.
Children, do you realize that?
Care.
Caring. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are they too fast for you? Okay, great. What else?
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice. Do you realize? Are you hearing your parents? Man will dissect these things. They are saying sacrifice. What else?
Risk.
Risk. God bless you. How many children do you have? One. Where's your husband? Why are you ducking down, brother? Knowledge. A parent has to be knowledgeable. Yes.
Providing unconditional love.
Wow. Unconditional love. Have fun. How many children you have? Two. Two boys. And you talk about unconditional love. I love you. Thank you. What else?
Attention.
Attention.
Like paying attention to what they are doing.
So you have to be a policeman.
No, not policeman, but attention about everything in their life.
Okay, so
They need to feel that
dedication. You should be dedicated towards their life. Okay, dedication. What else? Trust. You must have trust. Yes.
I agree with unconditional love and all the family, but I think nowadays
Giving time. So you must have time for your children. Excellent.
money.
Most of the parents are missing on that today. Money. Who said money? Who said money? Thank you very much. They all are talking in fantasy world. They pay for their fees and everything. Money! You should be a provider, but don't write money there. Write provider. I'm just using word for you. A parent has to be a provider too. Yes?
Encouragement.
Encouragement for what?
Encouraging them to take chances.
Motivators. Okay, parent has to be a motivator and a guide. Yes?
Ethical person. Adventurous.
Adventurous. Children, I am standing in temple, so I won't comment more on that. Ethical. So you have a value-based for yourself.
be a good
So
Coaching and mentoring.
coaching and mentoring. Yes, a parent has to be a coach and a mentor too. Beautiful. What else?
Be a good listener.
A good listener. Who's your husband?
He's not here at the moment.
Not here anymore? We should congratulate him. Very good.
Spiritual guidance.
Spiritual guide. Somebody said already that. But wonderful. Yes. A role model. Thank you very much. A role model. Children, do you want to say anything more? What do you want in your parents? Tomorrow morning ad is going up, man. Your parents are going to check that ad. Do you want to add any more qualifications?
Open-minded.
Open-minded. You are risking your life, I won't comment on that.
Should I write?
So can you just read it for us? Let us stop here. I think we have enough qualification now.
All right.
Hardly will find.
Qualifications are patience, commitment, love, discipline, caring, sacrifice, risk, knowledge, unconditional love, dedication, trust, giving time, provider, motivator and a guide, adventurous, ethical, coaching and management, good listeners, spiritual guide, role model.
Thank you. I think you can, whatever you are missing in life, you can add it here, no problem. Okay. Now, sorry, I have so much to visualize all this, what you have said to me. Now, if you think about it, out of all these criteria, only one criteria you all have said, which is financially inclined, a provider. That is an average internationally. 10% even if you not have said, I would have added there, because 10% of your whole attention is towards finances. 90% is something different. Now look at your lives. We spend almost 9.9% time only thinking about money. We work for money, we study for money, we make friends for money, and then we expect happiness, peace, and joy. You have to pause and think about it. We are looking for self-fulfillment. We are looking for contentment. We are looking for self-actualization from parenting. And you yourself, when you sit down and think about it, only 10% of your attribute and time is required towards your financial goals. The rest, other things. But when you give time, as you said, we need to give time for our children. Our whole thought process comes from a different angle. Point to think. Now you got a sheet in your front of you, so you can make your notes if you like to. I want you to relax and enjoy and write whenever you feel like. Next question. Okay. Now because she was serious last time, so I'll ask her only. How many years of experience do you think as a parent you need, or not as a parent, sorry, as a person you need to have these attributes?
I think it comes naturally the day you hold your baby. And as you
No, before becoming a parent. I'm doing an ad to be a parent.
before you become
So, it's not like, you take a job and then you say, I will start studying now because I got a job. Right? You have the degree before you can apply. Correct? So now, this is a qualification you have written that I need in a parent. So I'm asking, how many years you will take to get these qualifications in place to apply to be a parent?
I don't think so.
God bless you.
I got it just before that. I thought I never realized until I became a parent and worked towards it. But patience and all those stuff to be a parent, I think it just comes the moment you hold your baby.
Excellent. So, but let's give it for a theoretical purposes, so that because I want people to get married and be a parent. If you say it never comes, God bless you. You will kill
No,
me
I
also.
said it comes.
Yeah.
I said it comes, but it naturally comes when
Correct.
you become a parent.
So let us give us some kind of a timeline today as to what age you think a child or a person or a youth is somewhat eligible to have all these attributes, and as a parent we can say, yes child, now you're ready to take this plunge. Be a parent now. So just asking you a window of age, what do you think age bracket should be wherein all these criteria to a decent extent? 30? Okay, good point. 30, what else? 30 for male or female?
25 used to be, I think now it's 30.
The 30 for male or female?
At both times.
Because they grow differently, eh?
Male lectures lower than women.
Okay, let's have this debate now. I'm asking all the males to quote from females. Oh, sorry, should I do it other way around? Let me ask the beautiful ladies here to tell, when do you think your men become mature? Never. Brother, don't say it loudly, but that is the truth. Anyway, give me an age group. When do you think a man or a boy would have those criteria to a decent level to say, yes sir?
25 to 30. 25 to 30.
Where's your wife? Do you agree with him? Did he mature at 25? Now she's smiling more, so we'll talk later. Thank you anyways. Who else? What else? Yes? 35? God bless. Men, you see the reality? 20? For who? Yeah.
23, 24.
They have all this criteria? Who's your husband?
He's not here, but I
I love you, and I'll tell you, all the males of the world will give you an award for that. Because they have underestimated us a lot. Yes.
I think it is a process.
Yes, but when the process, some shape.
As you start growing from a little child, it is the atmosphere, it's the air.
Correct, but I'm asking here for at least, you can't say a child at 15, okay, go and get, you'll grow up. Yeah, correct. That's why I'm asking you, at what age can I say safely that babies, now you're ready to make babies? 40? How much? 28? 40? I'll tell you, those ladies who are saying 40, males, don't look at them, please. Anyway, yes.
You become father or a parent when responsibility comes to you. These qualities will come to you irrespective of the age when you start learning that process.
You know what? So I'll give you a car and say, let's drive. On the way you learn. It's teaching people that you learn.
Don't sit on the steering to learn the car, you don't learn the car.
Correct. But you can't let the person go on the road when you have not learned it properly. It's a dangerous cycle. Anyway, so I will take a summary here. Let me quote it. Internationally they say, I agree with you sisters, the ladies mature faster than men. International age group they say is around 25 for ladies and 30 for male. Not 40, don't kill them so much. The male will get married faster. So 25 for ladies and 30 for male. Okay, how many of you are married for more than 30 years? More than 20 years? More than 10 years? Most of you? More than 5 years? The camera get on, I'll tell you the story now.
Okay, let's continue.
Started?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's one man, just to repeat for his wife. The one man only came onto this side and the king ordered his minister, go and welcome him with all the royal treatment. So elephants and horses, everybody, whole 9 yards was given to the man and he was brought into the palace. The man was shivering because he had no clue. My God, did I do anything wrong by saying yes? But he was amazed at the treatment he got. So when he came closer, king called him. He gave him a hug. He said, I'm so proud of you. Ask me whatever you want. Anything in my capacity shall be yours today. I'm so happy. The man, after removing himself from his hug, he fixed his ears machine as his master. I'm so happy that you have given me so much of respect and love. But may I know, why am I getting this? The king was shocked. He said, didn't you hear the announcement? He said, I'm hard of hearing. Can you please repeat? So the king's heart sank and he said, Minister, and the minister repeated. He said, who said I'm not afraid of my wife? He said, then why did you go to that side? He said, my wife said, do not go where there's crowd. So poor fellow went away because there was so much of crowd on this side. He chose to go this side. Can you imagine that? So nobody, brothers, can match the beauty and the grace of our women folk. But anyway, the point here is that even after 10, 20 years of your married life, then you are kind of stuck together. Still you don't know each other. Still you cannot claim to know each other. So what do you think these teenagers, when they say, Mom, I'm in love. Oh, this guy is so beautiful. He knows me so well. He cares for me, Mommy. Do you think they are talking from senses? Their hormones are working harder than their mind. And at that age, they start claiming that they are in love, they understand each other. Oh, he understands me so well, mommy. Even after 20 years of marriage, brothers, they still can't figure out each other. How will you at the teenage, when your hormones are higher, can you figure out what is happening in your life? So let me ask you another question now. Are you ready? At what age or how much time in a decent manner you would need to know each other quite well enough to say, I do. So the men folk are ready to sacrifice their lives and say, I want to lose my independence now. So at how much time do you think as a parent would you like to give your children what they say, dating period, so that they can get to know each other? A new tradition has come, right? So we have to face that. 1 to 2 years, children be happy. What else? Good, 2 years. What else? I'll take the higher one for you. What else? Any other timeline?
I don't have a number, but I have a relating to the topic. Even if spouses don't know much, I think parenting is a time when they start learning more about each other when they're raising.
No, fair enough. That's why I'm asking you a question. The children tomorrow will ask you, they're growing up, well, now I found somebody, I would like to know him before I say yes. Correct? How much time as a parent would you like to give your children?
6 months.
6 months.
3 years.
3 years.
It depends on the age of the child. So if your child is in your early 20s, at least 5 years. And if your child is entering 30s, then
She's very mathematical, mother. Excellent. We'll dissect that. We'll dissect that too. How many years you need. So we have come to the conclusion that even after 20 years you can't know each other. So here we are trying to figure out now how much time as a parent would you like to give your child so that the child can say yes to each other. So there is a timeline from 6 months you said? 6 months to 3 years. Any other numbers here?
As long as they need.
As long as they need, who are your children? Inside? That's why you're saying that. Let them come out and then I want to hear it again. How many years? Yes.
Until they become parents.
Boss. We are in temple. Be careful. Whatever you say will materialize.
No time then.
Okay.
Well, as an Indian, I think this is a very difficult question. As an Indian, it is a difficult question.
It's not only Indians, sir. It's all the parents around the world. You make the mistake that you are really worried about your children. But anyways, let us pause and dissect this point. So, okay, now you said your men folk mature at 20 and women folk mature at 25. And now you're saying you can never know your spouse's story. And now you are saying 6 months to 3 years. Let me take a consensus here. 6 months to 3 years for a child to know each other. Now internationally, how they come up with closure is around 3 to 6 months is the time internationally they give as a research for so-called dating period. Because the fact of the matter is nobody can know each other completely. And what they're trying to find out is compatibility. Do I like your nose or not? Can I see your face every day morning or not? That's all they're trying to see. And for that, you don't need 3 months and a lifetime. Otherwise they'll have many more before they can decide. So the fact is, 6 months, they say 3 to 6 months is enough time to know each other in that manner. Are they compatible or not?
Tolerate, right? Not knowing. Tolerate.
Tolerate is a negative word, brother. Okay. Now look at it in a very logical and a scientific manner. How old are you when you pass out your school? 18. Excellent. And then you need a little bit more a degree, right?
You need 4 years for college.
For a college. So how many years now? 22. And then you want to at least give yourself a couple of years to make some money?
Yeah.
You want to borrow from dad? Dad, can I have some money to go for a...
25.
At least a couple of years?
Yeah.
So can I put at least 2 to 3 years? At least to stabilize? So what is the age now? 25. So you see that? So from any angle you look at it, your age bracket really falls in that category. If you really want to do a life which is decent, if you want to really make yourself something beautiful. So now if you look at same age bracket of male at 30 and female at 25, because you have to provide for you guys, man. You know how much pain they have to go through to provide your costumes and toys, and tomorrow you ask for cards and all that, right? So parents have to work extra hard so that you can reach a level of comfort. So that is why they said 34 and 25 here. And now you're saying after you finish your studies and all, you're already at the age of 25, 26. Correct? So this is how we have reached a conclusion that is where you need to be to take the next plunge. Everybody on the same path?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Now if you really think about it, that at the age of 30, you need a couple of years or 6 months to 3 years, you said, and I'll forget the international age group of 3 months to 6 months. Let me take an average of yours, what you have said, 2 years time. Average it out, 1 to 3 years, 2 years time you need, and you want to give your children to date. Be a little liberal parent. 2 years time to date, to know each other enough to tolerate, in his words, not mine, but to know decently each other to say yes, correct? So which means a boy at the age of 30 can start dating at the age of 28 or 27 to be more liberal with you. A girl technically can start dating at the age of 23, 25. Because before that, it's all waste of time. Before that, it is all your hormones kicking in, not your mind. So which means, technically and logically, there is no sensible logic and reason why should you waste your energy and time in emotional roller coaster. At that age when a child should be fulfilling his growth potentials, learning life skills, learning things about your academics, non-academics, sports, music, you are troubling yourself with emotional roller coaster. Do you see the logic? And that is how they say that there is no sense or there is no need even to contemplate about dating before that age. From a very, very scientific, logical perspective. So when a 10-year-old comes and says, I have a girlfriend, that's right, my dear friends, our parents and their parents could twist your ears and give you one spank, said study, because that was not the time for you to think in that area. Now this is parenting. This is true parenting. How many of us have really thought about these things before you jump into becoming a parent? How many of you, honestly speaking, had all this knowledge or awareness at least before you said I do, and you got this tag of a parent on your head? Now in our terminology we say, those of you who thought about it, at least to some extent, those of you who believed in these things and planned it out, we call them conscious parents. And those, something happened, boom, and a child came, from where he came, who are you now? Oh God, I'm your parent. We call them default parents. To some extent, we all are default parents, and to an extent, we all are conscious parents. Our journey in life as a parent would be to move from the default to the conscious parenting. In understanding all the nuances, all the shapes and facets of parenting, so that we can guide a new generation to come. When you were in teens, did you fight with your mother?
Of course.
We all did, right? And now when our children fight, you are sometimes more tough than your own mother. If your mom said you can't go, you said don't, you can't even look that side because you have suffered enough. And it's very funny that as a child when you grow up, you go to your mom and say, Mom, how stupid of me that I fought with you when I was a teen. Right? And the chain cycle continues. You make the mistake, you fight with your parents, and then you become the parent, and you fight with your children, and go back to your mother and say, Mom, how stupid of me. And this cycle keeps going, and we wonder, how do we stop this? How do we make it an experience that no longer there should be a fight? That no longer there should be a kind of conflict in parenting. Do you think is it possible? Do you think it is possible that a parent can love and guide a child in such a manner that conflict will be reduced? And there will be no time to come back and regret with your mother and say, sorry Mom, I wish I was more obedient and decent to you than I was. We all did it. And now we blame our children for that. They will blame their children unless something happens to us that we put a stop to this change. Is it possible?
Yes.
This journey is value parenting. In nutshell, that is what it is. So we discovered, we explored, we discussed right now what is parenting, different facets of being a parent, and then I have shown you a glimpse of what entails to be value parenting, to make that life a fulfilling experience. Parenthood is one of the best experiences a person can have. But never forget in life that parenting is also a role you are playing. Don't lose yourself in being a parent, or being anything for that matter. Since I'm talking from a parenting perspective, I'm saying that. But don't lose yourself for jobs, for anything for that matter in life. Because at the bottom, you are important. Your happiness is important. I'll ask you another question. How are you, Auntie? You're not smiling. Can you give me anything which you don't have? Anybody? Can you give me anything which you do not have? No. Then how can you give your child happiness, joy, fulfillment, contentment if you do not have it? Very simple question to yourself. Ask yourself, if I want my child to be happy, contented, fulfilled, should I not be? So how many of you can claim to be happy all the time, always? None of you? What is most of the time? So most of the time is as long as your husband is listening to you, you are happy. Why do you say no? You are saying both things together. It is not possible, it is possible. So to make up your mind. Yes. Here I found my partner at least. Brother, the day you said I do, the story's over. Excellent. At least I have one person here who can claim to say happy all the time. Anybody who wants to be happy all the time? Trying is dry. Don't try. Be. You know the problem is, we have forgotten who we are. Who are you? Are you sure? Because you decided like this and then she said human and you said human. Oh my God. Very simple question. Who are you? My God. Spirit. Now we are in temple, you are flying now. Oh my goodness. I haven't reached there. I'm still finding it out. But yes, even if yes.
Just consciousness.
My goodness. We are in a wonderful place here. Everybody is in that. Let's take it really simple. Find out who are you. Forget that concept which you can't understand. I'm not denying what you're saying. I totally accept it. But let me take you from a very, very personal, a very gross understanding of it. If I say I'm God, it remains another question. What is God? You say I'm consciousness. What is that? I don't know. So let us start in a very basic way. I'm a human being. 1 point. What else are you? A father. A man. Hopefully, right? How many of you wake up in the morning? How many of you wake up in the morning and remind yourself, I'm a boy? Do you wake up in the morning and say, I'm a man? How many of you do I need a reminder, a clock? Hey, I woke up, I'm a boy. Anybody here? Thank God. So all of you know what you are, at least on a physical level. Because you are so ingrainedly believing in it, that you don't need a reminder that you are a lady. But unfortunately, we need a reminder that we are a human being. Because we tend to behave like animals more than what we should behave like a human being. A dog does not need to be reminded to bark. You can feed him, you can love him, you can do whatever. That fellow is going to come and say, wow. At best, he'll lick you. That's all. A cat will only say meow. A tiger will never eat a grass. You can't say, I'm a lovely roti man, have aloo ka paratha. A tiger will eat your hand, but not aloo ka paratha. That is the basic nature. What is our nature? That is our discovery. If you are a child, know that you are a child, that is your truth. How many of you know that you are a child? The child wants to be a child and you want to make him an adult. At the age of 4, you want him to read. Because there is some kind of strange competition going on. Oh, he reads as if he's going to PhD at age of 4. Let him play. The parents come to me and say, my child is very naughty. I said, thank God, you are not. The child is supposed to be naughty. What do you want him to be? A saint right there? Oh. Let him have fun. Because you will allow him to be naughty and happy at the age of 4, the fellow becomes different naughty when he is 10. We are chasing our life. We don't live in the present. When you are in primary, you want to act like in higher secondary. When in secondary, you want to act like college. When you are in college, you want to already become a father. Because you are watching your parents do some things. And when you become father, you say, I've been there, done that. You talk like a 60-year-old. They say, what is happening to you? And then we try to hide ourselves. I'm still young, you know. It doesn't work. The best part of life is to be what you are. Can you all acknowledge today that you're going to be happy today, onwards, forever? Can you promise yourself to be what you are supposed to be? That's it. Do not pretend. Do not try to live another's life. Do not live because media tells you to so. In America, we don't even have our holidays. We are so much bound with these televisions. They tell you, long weekend is coming, please take your cars, kill yourself in the traffic for 1 hour, curse each other and go there, because everybody is going there. And then Sunday night you come back, cursing everybody back, claiming on the Facebook pages to me, we had a good time. I'm tired. And Monday morning blues start again. Why you have to go there? Why can't you put your hammock and sit in your lawn and say, this is my holiday? No! What will I tell my friends tomorrow? You are sitting in your lawn and a hammock? What happened to you? We suffered going to that park. But everybody's Facebook pages will say, we had a good time. Who are you trying to please here? People ask me, you're not going out? I said, why should I? You're going to a movie? I said, cool. What are you doing? I'm enjoying. Why can't you enjoy yourself? How many of you love yourself? I'll ask you an exercise. Now my children also have come, so I have to make it short now. Okay, I'll ask you a very quick question. Do you have, how many of you give yourself at least 7 minutes in a day for yourself?
More than it.
7 minutes in a day just for yourself. What do you do in 7 minutes?
I do whatever I want to do for myself.
But
Like
reading, then you're engaging again. You're not engaging yourself. You are only distracting yourself and engaging. I'm saying, how many of you give 7 minutes at least in a day just for yourself? Doing nothing. Huh? Just for you. No reading books, no cell phones, no music, no chats, no husband, no wife, no children, just for yourself. What do you do? Sleep?
relax.
What do you do?
Sitting in the couch in the bed.
Do you do it every day? How many of you do every day 7 minutes? Those who do it, congratulations. Those who don't, please start today. And I'll give you an exercise for yourself. You know the best thing? One day I read it, actually Dr. only showed me that. Sadhu Vaswani's quote, and I loved it. And ever since I have read that quote, it has become my favorite quote and I keep telling everybody. Sadhu Vaswani said it, if you cannot enjoy your own company, why do you trust it on others? I love this quote very much. If you cannot enjoy your own company, why do you trust it on others? And I'll give you an exercise for that. It's a wonderful exercise in developing self-confidence to stare at yourself. All of you, in America, everybody has a wonderful houses. So you have a long mirrors also in the bathroom, right? Don't be afraid. When you're taking bath, in your glorified phone, just stare at the mirror. Okay? Look eye to eye. How many of you do that? Ladies, don't wear your makeup and all that. I'm asking eye to eye, not doing lipstick. You can spend an hour doing that, but eye to eye, how many of you have learned to do that? Please do that today. Go and stand in front of the mirror and look eye to eye. If that scares you, God save you. That's what God gave you. You can help it. But do that and you will find a different experience for yourself. And then, I think that time is up. Okay. So in the closing, I wanted to give you a flavor about the parenting workshops which we do. These are very around 12 modules and we are prepared for that. It takes us through a journey to understand what parenting is and to go through value parenting program.